What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Insecticon Bombshell, the final Insecticon to round out the trio of the original three Insecticons from G1 that we all know and love, and I'm really happy to finally get this guy in hand. Just really finally good to finish off the set. And it's the same thing when we're going to get Swoop for the SS86 line. I'm just really excited to finally be able to have, a representation of all these characters from the original cartoon in my collection as a full set and all in scale. So really happy to finally get this guy. But taking a look at the box, as you can see, we have the traditional Transformers Legacy Evolution stuff here. We have Insecticon Bombshell. We obviously have some very nice artwork of Bombshell himself. Nice Transformers logo. More nice artwork of Bombshell himself on the side here. More nice artwork of the Legacy Evolution, just artwork in general. They always kill it with this. And finally, your obligatory product shots with the Evo Fusion stuff, which is kind of like a throwaway gimmick at this point. They're just doing it just to have something. And then just, again, obligatory product shots. But overall, nothing too much else about the box. Just, the standard Legacy Evolution Legacy boxes. And so, without further ado, let's get this guy out here and see how he is. Alright guys, here we have the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Insecticon Bombshell opened up and out of the box, and I gotta say, I really do like this insect mode. Obviously, he's supposed to be, from what I... Wait, actually, I'm not sure what insect he's supposed to be. I'll put it on screen right now what he's supposed to be. But overall, I do really like how this looks. I think the detail is very nice and well done. The only issue I have with this insect mode, actually, well, one of them you can kind of see it is the off-balance part. But the only part about this that I'm not the biggest fan of is I believe in the animation, if you look in the original G1 cartoon, he's a bit more squat than he actually is. I think here he's a little too tall. I think this area is just a little too tall. This area is a little too tall. I'll put some images on screen right now, and you guys can tell me whether you think I'm right or I'm wrong. But I think he's just a little too tall. I wish he was just a bit more squat. Not a lot. Like, maybe like up to here was where he would start, and maybe everything was just shifted down about that much. But overall, still really nice. As you can see, we got some nice detail here. This is obviously the insect eye. Nicely painted yellow, got the nice purple here for the body, got some nice painted details all around, got the nice blue here on both sides, some nice more molded in details here, you can see that, more there, nice red stripe here on the side, nice silver here for like the horn, antenna part of this looks really good, you got this nice little gold paint there as well. Overall, again, this is very simple, but looks very good, and I have nothing to complain about majorly except for just the sizing. I just wish it was just a tad bit more squat. Other than that, I still think it looks good and it functions pretty well. The only other, I guess, a little issue I have is that with the other two Insecticons, you have like a little 5mm port here on the bottom where you can fit the guns so that it's, you can store it evenly under, but for Bombshell that doesn't exist, and the only 5mm are really up here or on his like bottoms of his feet, and that's a little bit whatever, but when it comes to storage, I'm not going to have him displayed necessarily like this. So taking a quick look at the gun there, you can remove this very easily. Very nice detail all around. I can't say that this is really bad. It's very reminiscent obviously of his G1 a blaster design. So overall, really nice here. Very nice painted molded detail, very nice paint on the silver. So overall, again, very nice. I'm just gonna set that off to the side for now. But yeah, again, Bombshell, solid insect mode. Just wish it was a little more squat. And so I think with that, let's do some comparisons in his insect mode. And luckily, when it comes to comparisons, I do have the other two on hand when it comes to having them. Like, I know I've been mentioning in previous videos that my collection's all thrown around, but luckily the two Insecticons from Legacy were right on top, so I was able to just yoink them and grab them. And so for size comparison and just vehicle mode, beast mode comparison, here's Bombshell. And here's Bombshell with kickback as well as shrapnel. And I gotta say, this is awesome. To finally have all three of these guys together is really awesome, and it fulfills sort of a childhood, like nostalgia for me to finally be able to display all three of these Insecticons all together, with the sizes correct, the scale correct. Everything is just really, really awesome, and I think that amongst his brethren here, Bombshell looks fantastic, and there's nothing really more else I have to say about that. All right, going from that, let's get into the transformation, which is very, very simple. He actually shares a good amount of parts with Shrapnel. Mainly his entire lower half of the transformer of this figure is basically Shrapnel as well, which is a bit of a shame, but I can see the continuity. They're Insecticons, part of the same group. They should at least in some way share some same engineering. You could argue the Dinobots as well. Those are different, very different from one another, but still, I guess because they all look very similar, it's not really that far off for them to use similar engineering, and people will complain about that, and I totally understand. And I definitely agree that they could have used different engineering, but here I still think it works, and I still think it, results in a fantastic looking robot mode. It's a very simple transformation, as all these Insecticons have been, but without further ado, it's fun, not frustrating, so let's get into it. So when it comes to the transformation, first thing I like to do here is basically, the arms are down here, so what I like to do is wiggle them out and just untab them, and then just rotate them out just to give yourself some clearance, and then you can untab these, the bug leg sections here. Get rid of those. Now you can get rid of these. These are just in here via the 5mm holes. These little parts, these are part of the Evo Fusion gimmick. But I like to leave them on there because I believe it's accurate to the original cartoon. After this, I like to just rotate these around and just leave them like this for now. For the legs, very simple. Just sort of untab this entire section, accordion it down like this. Push these knee joints in. There's a little joint in there. You got to push those in. And then you can fold both of these as well. These panels here. Split the legs and then just fold the toes. Fold the little footsies out. Rotate this entire thing around. Take each hand and then just rotate it out from here. From the inside of the forearm. Same thing here. Rotate it. Rotate the hand out from the inside of the forearm. Do that. All you gotta do is take this section, sort of lift it up like so, and then just bend the antenna like this to make him accurate. Then, ladies and gentlemen, actually, let's just put the gun in his hand here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we have the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Bombshell in his absolutely fantastic looking robot mode. And just for a comparison here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put Bombshell here, and we'll put the picture of Bombshell from G1. It's pretty spot on. I mean, there's nothing really else majorly to say that this thing looks bad in robot mode. It's pretty fantastic, and it just like the other Insecticons, this guy cleans up extremely well. There's literally no back kibble at all. Really, really looks good all around. So taking a look, that head sculpt is gorgeous. I mean, that's Bombshell, and the antenna just accentuates it here. But that's gorgeous. I mean, you can see the silver and the little rivets for his mouth plate, his beet red eyes. Very, very cool. Nice Decepticon logo here with the gold as well. Got the silver here, purple works very well. Again, nice molded in details here going down. Overall, I mean, this guy isn't crazy, but it's simple. It's there. This is exactly what Bombshell should be. It doesn't need to be complicated. And yeah, I have nothing else but good things to say about this robot mode. So absolutely fantastic stuff, and I absolutely love how this guy looks in robot mode. And so for comparisons, I'm going to set this guy off to the back here. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have all three of the Insecticons. Absolutely amazing. Like, this looks so good. They all look so good together, and it feels so good to finally have these three as a group and completed, right? And so, I don't know. I'm so happy that we finally have all three of these guys accurate to how they looked in the G1 cartoon, what I saw on TV as a kid. And man, I'm just super happy that we finally have all three of these guys, and so Bombshell just fits perfectly with his Insecticon brethren. And all right, getting back into it. First thing, I actually before we get into the articulation, I would like to, and the accessories. I'd like to talk about this panel here. You're supposed to also flip this down for robot mode. It's so insignificant, and I'm sorry that I forgot it. That I kept reminding myself to not forget it before the review, but of course during the review I forget it. So I apologize for that. But for the transformation, you're supposed to flip that down as well. So getting into the accessories, obviously we have the gun that he can hold in either of his hands, and he can plug it on the ports. And then you have the Evo Fusion gimmick, which is, I mean, it's just literally you have the ports there on the sides of the gun on either side, and then you can just like do this. And yay, Evo Fusion, yay! I don't really care. I mean, like it looks cool, yeah, but I mean, like okay. It's there if you want to do it. I'm not gonna knock on you if you do it. I just don't care enough, about it to warrant like being crazy about it because it's Evo Fusion is, what a throwaway gimmick at this point. So, getting into it, let me remove this, and we can plug these back into his arms, like so. Just give him his gun back. All right, now. Articulation. Overall articulation for this guy is solid, but it's a deluxe, so don't expect anything absolutely freaking crazy. So for the articulation, starting off from the head, you have the Actually, you can't get a full 360. I forgot because of the freaking the insect like. I suppose like horn antenna, but you can get a little bit of side to side there. It still works. I don't really need this guy looking up and down. Shoulders do a full 360, and then you get a rotation in the upper part of the bicep, and then you do get a little more than 90 degrees at the elbow. No wrist articulation because of the way this thing transforms. Obviously, due to transformation, you do get full waist articulation as well. You can kick forward. You can kick really far back. Obviously, there's no back kibble. You have a 90-degree bend at the leg. You have an upper thigh swivel, and then you do have ankle rocker articulation here. Not too much. You can't do the splits with this guy, but you can still get some pretty cool freaking poses with this guy. So I'm just really happy that that is a possibility. And overall, again, I am very, very happy with the robot mode as a whole. All right, and now that all of that stuff is out of the way, pretty quick stuff. Again, nothing too much. Is a very simple figure. There's nothing crazy about it. But when it comes to this guy, finally gets to get back to reverse transformation. Very very simple stuff. So grabbing this guy, just gonna remove the gun from his hand. You can set that off to the side. I like to straighten out the arms, and then you just take this. And what you'll notice is there's like a little hole right there, if you can see that. And then there is this little tab here, and sadly there is a teeny bit of paint rub. You can see a little bit of it there, whatever happens. But basically, you just, twist the head, make it straight, then just push this down, and it'll sort of just, soft lock into that little hole right there. Then for the arms, what I like to do, you just straighten them out, and then you can raise them up like so on the back. And then what I like to do is the place, so where you have these weapons pegged in, you just rotate them so that they're facing the front, and then you can just rotate the fists inside. Or the bottom of the bug mode, I guess it would be. Then what I like to do, just plug the legs together because you can just transform this all together at once. Take this whole section, the waist section, you can rotate it around. Come back to the front of the legs, open these up, then you can fold the toes down. Then you can accordion this entire section like so. And make sure that these knee sections are resting against the bottoms of or the tops of the feet. Then all you got to do here, now this is a little weird. So you just got to make sure that this whole section is as close to the chest piece as possible, right? And then what you have to do is what I enjoy is basically there are tabs on the underside of the forearms here. I don't know if you could tell those are tabs. Sorry. I don't know if you can tell those are tabs, but there are tabs on either side. And then as you can see on the thighs, there's tabs here and here. So you have to you have to put those in. And then the other thing is that if you look on the inside here, there's like a little slot in there where this tab is supposed to slot into. So for me, what I personally like to do is you sort of fold these down, try and slot them into the place on the legs, and then you can just lift this up and then plug it in like that. So again, what I like to do, just try to put it down like so. And then what you can do is you can sort of lift this up and then just plug it into place like so. And those are the arms done. Then finally, just plug these up, snap them into place, set this guy down, set his gun on top. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have Shrapnel, I'm thinking Shrapnel, Bombshell back in his insect mode. Alright, and so for my concluding and final thoughts on the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Insecticon Bombshell, it's pretty much a smash hit for anyone who loves the original G1 cartoon and wants their own set of Insecticons. If you've bought Kickback, if you've bought Shrapnel, this is a no-brainer to get this guy. It's a really fantastic figure. Not without its faults, though. I do think that the bug mode is a bit too tall. I also do feel that when you get him into robot mode, the unfortunate part is he shares a lot of engineering and literally one-to-one parts with Shrapnel. Basically almost the entirety of his arms, as well as the entire bottom half of the robot, is the exact same as Shrapnel, which is a bit of a shame. I personally don't mind it, but obviously you can argue against whether that's good or not, and I respect that argument. I can totally understand if you feel that way. And also, I do feel that not being able to store the gun underneath just the center of the bug mode is a bit annoying. Whether that's a big complaint or not, I think that's more nitpicking than anything else. And then I also think that when it comes to Bombshell, the articulation is a bit limited, especially in the head, because of the big, this part here for the insect mode. But overall, I know I just said it sounded like I have a lot of issues with it. Those at the end of the day were just, I'm trying to find things to fault the figure on, and that's all I personally have to say about faults. Everything else is great. Colors, paint, detail, size. Transformation simple. These are Insecticons. They're not supposed to be complicated. So overall, I do think that this is a fantastic figure, and I do think you should go ahead and pick this guy up. So if you guys want to pick this up, I picked this guy up on the Big Bad Toy Store. I will leave a link to that in the description below. You obviously can also, I think, pick it up on Hasbro Pulse. I'm not sure if it's out of stock or in stock anymore, but I'll leave a link to that as well, and I'll also leave a link to Amazon for those of you who want to pick this figure up. Also, if you guys obviously can go look for it in actual stores, so I wish you guys the best in luck in finding Bombshell at your local retailers, because at the end of the day, that's the most fun, is finding it IRL. The only reason I buy them online is to guarantee it, because I don't want to risk it, which is a bit unfortunate these days, but what are you going to do? Overall, got to give this figure probably an 8.5. 8.5 to a 9, probably closer to 8.5, just knocking it off for a few things. But overall, still fantastic. Definitely recommend you pick it up. And so, yeah, that's it for the Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Insecticon Bombshell. And with that, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, follow me in the socials, linked in the description below. And with that, guys, I will catch you all in the next video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace out, guys. Have a wonderful day.